Hey guys, we're taking a look at the BNB Binance Chain Native Token against the US dollar, and just wanted to kind of take a look at where we're at and where I think we're going to go based on what I see on the chart here. So remember, this is not financial advice. This is purely for entertainment purposes. I just like talking about this stuff. So what I see on the linear chart is a trend that started back on about the 7th of April, and you can see that it just pretty much held this trend all the way up through today. And we've broken through it a couple times, but very minimally. Even looking at the hourly chart, when it did go through that trend line, it kind of used it. So it support, resistance here for a second as it went underneath it, came back up, used it as support. And now it's kind of under the support line, but I'm noticing a secondary trend line coming from the peak here of 63.4 down to today, where it's held this as resistance not only once, but throughout this entire part here. See, once, two, three, and all these little ones here. So this is a pretty strong little resistance trend line here, and it's pushing it down back to this support line here at 536, 540. And what I kind of expect to see happen here is, and this is just my expectation, is that I think it's going to probably come down and hit this 540 again and kind of get into this range right here when it will finally break through and go back up above this trend line, possibly even using this as resistance for a little bit, and it'll push, and then go through it. And then we'll probably come back up and test this resistance where I'm putting the resistance about 610 or so. But that's kind of my expectation of where I see it. I think this is probably going to be a really good buying zone right here as it's consolidated off this little, I say little, off this huge climb up from 355 back on April 7th to a week later being at 544 after pulling back from 630. There's still plenty of juice in the bones here with BNB. It's going to, they got so many different ways that they're able to take advantage of the Ethereum gas fees, because not only do they have the Binance exchange, but they also have the added ability of allowing smaller investors to get into altcoins by only paying a dollar fee instead of Uniswap and Ethereum charging $35, $40. So I think they still have a lot of growth in there. And so I kind of think right here is where there's going to be a nice little buying area before it breaks through this and starts on its way back up to test new highs again very soon. And what else I wanted to show on the log chart is that there's an even clearer trend line going back to March 25th that it's kind of just been sticking around all the way up through today. So as you can see, look, as it support, kind of came under it, but held it pretty good. Support, went under it, but then used it as a little bit of resistance, support, back up here to resistance. So this seems to be a pretty good, strong trend line on the log chart. So I tend to want to believe this is still going to keep going up, just based on this alone. Like they say, the trend is your friend until it's not. So right now you got to kind of go with it, believing that this trend will continue. And I am definitely looking forward to seeing where BNB is going to go. Do they have an opportunity to possibly flip Ethereum? Maybe. It should be a pretty interesting next month or two as we get more updates on the new Ethereum versions. Uniswap's coming out with version 3 apparently in a month from now. That'll be interesting to see what they do and how that works out. It's obviously helped Uniswap's value as they've been exploding the last couple of days. So we'll see where this goes. I am going to be bullish on BNB for at least another month. I think 1,000 seems very doable with the way this thing has been going and the way the trends are going, as well as the fact that these guys are just dominating right now. I mean, I know we all have opinions on how centralized BNB is, but the money's going there. So why not grab your piece of it and then move on once you've made it? So that's my take on BNB. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it to kind of see if I'm on the right track or not. And I appreciate you guys watching.